Third day of the Africa Aerospace and Defence Exhibition at the Waterkloof Air Force Base outside Pretoria. And for more on that exhibition, our reporter Patricia Visagie is standing by. Patricia, what have you got for us now?
Now, welcome back to the Waterkloof Air Force Base. Of course, the third day of the Africa and Aerospace Defence Exhibition that's been taking place here is about to wind down. The activity is about to wind down. Of course, now the attention that has been on the more than 400 exhibitors that have been displaying their products. Now the attention focuses to the public. Over the weekend, starting tomorrow and of course Sunday, we expect thousands of South Africans to come here and enjoy the air show that of course will be taking place right here from the heart of the Waterkloof Air Force Base. But of course earlier I spoke to the chairperson of Excom for the of course AAD 2016, and that is Mpho Chibovo, who unpacked more about how they think the 3 days has gone so far and what is expected for the weekend when of course the crowds will be gathering here. Let's go to that interview. Now speaking to the Excom chairperson for the AAD 2016, and that is Mpho Chibovo, if I have pronounced your surname correctly. Now, of course, day 3, a lot of activity, and it's really been great to be here from the SABC team that's broadcasting live from, of course, the show here. How has everything been going, according to you?
It has been overwhelming, it has been exciting, it has been an exhilarating journey, and I think for me as the chairperson standing here and looking at this Air Force base in this scale and on this level, it makes the past 18 months such a joy to have walked. It really is it's amazing to experience it this side of all the planning.
Now 18 months of planning, a lot of logistics that you had to take care of. On the first day, small glitches, few teething problems. Have everything now been sorted out?
The perfect event is still being planned, and I had hoped that this one would have been that. But yes, glitches that we had anticipated, and that's why we were able to resolve them as quickly as we did. We went into intensive planning with all sorts of service providers and stakeholders, and the city of Tshwane from the traffic department, the base itself from the military police, everybody just came together. And I think what makes it such a success is the common goal. All of us are so aware of the significance and the importance of AAD, and that's why we just gel together and make sure that it is the success that it clearly is.
And this is one of the premier defense events on the African continent. It's really not just about South Africa. It is an event that brings the whole African continent on the globe, isn't it?
And that is where I just get completely excited. I am so privileged that on my team, and this year, we had the first African participation. And when I say participation, we're not just talking from the delegations that come in and visit all the exhibitions, but we actually have African exhibitors showcasing the technology that comes from this continent. So
Certainly, and that is the power of the technology right there in this interview, seeing those aircrafts are flying over. That is what an exhibition like this is really about, isn't it?
Correct, and knowing that the technology that is being displayed, knowing that the manpower that is in that display are South African, African and are global, it really is just an experience beyond world, and it's been such a privilege and an honor. But it's not just me. I have an amazing team of people behind me, and as I said, that the common goal of making sure that South Africa and indeed the continent is represented. It's so important for the rest of the world to know that Africa can do this. We can host international events of this magnitude, of this stature, and I'm hoping that the rest of the continent will certainly tap into South Africans' competence and expertise, and you can see AADs like this replicated throughout the rest of the continent.
But we've spoken to some people on the sidelines who are saying that they actually had hoped for more African countries to be here. Is there a particular criteria, or is it whoever wants to be here that's here?
Look, the truth of the matter is that international shows, and I suppose there are two mitigating circumstances, really. Budget would probably be one of them. Most companies, not just in the defense industry, but international marketing spend is on the decline, particularly when it comes to events like this. So that would probably be one of the mitigating circumstances. The other one is geographical location. We're right down there at the bottom. So bringing marketing material all the way down here, and Europe is a lot more privileged because the companies that are and countries that are in West Africa going up towards the north, they're a lot closer to Europe. So your events that are hosted in the European continent tend to get a lot of, but those who are here, those are going to be our ambassadors. And I know that they're going to go back to the rest of the country and the rest of the continent and tell them that at AAD, they had the best delegation visitation, that the business that they were able to generate at participating at AAD was probably the best. And that's how you're going to see African participation growing, hopefully, in more years, in more AAD editions to come as well.
Now, Turkey is one of the countries that is here. They've got the most exhibitors. Mm-hmm. They told us that. We spoke, of course, to the Turkish Deputy Defense Minister, and he prided himself with the fact that they have the most exhibitors that are here. What does that mean for an event like this and for South Africa?
It means that AAD obviously is their premier choice of event and exhibition in their defense event calendar. It also means that they're generating the kind of business that they would want. The individual companies, and obviously that the bilateral agreements and the diplomatic relations and everything that Turkey had hoped to get out of AAD is working for them. And I know that they would say that they were the biggest and they had a lot of exhibitors. Everybody, I think, is special. To us, no one exhibitor tops the other. Everybody is equally special to the AAD organizers. But I do know that the benefits that they are deriving from AAD are working for the Turkish Pavilion. And I guess that's why in 2018 we could probably see an even bigger participation from them.
Just before we close, we've run out of time. Tomorrow the gates open for the public, of course, Saturday and Sunday. Just the logistics around that, quickly.
Yay, I'm excited. This is when mom and dad and brother and sister can come and see how hard we've been working and why we've been crying and so excited. But yes, logistics very simple. If you've bought your ticket already from CompuTicket, pre-registration, you can buy them at 70 Rand. However, we will have a facility here on the base and you can get your ticket at 80 Rand. Come as early as possible. Use the park and ride. If you're in Tshwane, you can go to the Arms Corps building. You can go to the Tshwane park and ride sites. Those who are coming from Johannesburg, and people from Johannesburg must come. Catch the Gout train. You zap into the Gout Centurion station. You catch the bus. It brings you here. Don't worry about traffic, and you can buy your tickets here and come and see what South Africa can really do for the world.
All right. Thank you so much. Of course, ExCom Chairperson Mpho Chiboa here. Of course, there you hear it. Don't miss the opportunity. Become part of the fun. Tomorrow and Sunday, the gates open for the public right here at the 2016 AAD at the Waterkloof Air Force Base here in Pretoria.